Hey everybody, there's other parts of the world are falling apart faster than our part of the world, and that's pretty obvious. Today we're going to talk about Chile, and they're running out of money. And after this injection of monetary heroin wears off, they need a little bit more. You can relay this message like that and people can kind of get it. But why don't you get into the story? And
Well, a lot of times we talk about things that have happened in the past, like we talk about Venezuela, or we talk about North Korea, or we talk about, but this is actually happening real time as we speak. Chilean was feeling flushed, the cause, and the local economy was hotter than perhaps any other on earth a year ago. A year ago. That's how fast it happened. They were talking about stores that were giving quotes about their sales were soaring 40%. There was a guy that owned frames for glasses and tattoo shops, and they were booked months and months in advance. They couldn't get people in, and it was just going crazy. It was a boom, they were calling it.
I heard, let me
No,
tell you
please.
this. I heard a very wealthy person one time. He said, when times are good, nobody can remember the times that were bad. And when times
true.
are bad, nobody can remember the good times. So we get, after these injection of monetary heroin, everything's good, the party's on. And now it's time to go through the hangover. I don't think they're going to do that, though. These governments they don't choose hangover. They don't choose that. They only want to do more of the same. More fuel on the fire. And a lot of times the fuel that they throw on the fire is more like oil. If you throw a big bunch of oil on a fire, it kind of puts it out for just a second, and then it starts to rip. Gas is kind of pow, pow. But that's the way these things kind of roll out, because these injections were a while back, and now we're just starting to see them. They're out of money, and now...
Well, if you look at Chile, or if you want to call it Chile, or however you want to call it, they're right there on the coast, right next to Argentina. I've been to Argentina, and I've never been to Chile before. But Argentina isn't that much of a wealthy country, so I can't imagine that there's a lot of prosperity there either, tons. But they said they've always prided themselves on having the most stable economy in, I guess, the Latin American community. But unfortunately, their inflation has skyrocketed like 13% in the last year. It's gone really
Up to
high.
13 or 13%?
13%. That's what they said. They said many
To
goods
13%.
are out of reach now for the local communities that are there, the local people that are there.
So sad.
And as you said, the hangover, they said this is a kind of hangover from the spending party that we had. Yeah, because everybody, after the pandemic, they said everybody got super excited. The lockdowns were over. They went out and started spending. They even were allowed to dip into their retirement funds. Now, a lot of the U.S., they're not allowed to. There's still restrictions. But they were allowed to take out tons of their retirement funds. Spend it, their savings, it's gone. It is absolutely gone. They did it 3 separate occasions. They said there were huge, massive moves to pull out their retirement funds. That is a ton. That means their money is gone.
It's just going to be poverty. It's so sad to see a society break down, because it seems like they'll get enough rope to hang themselves, and they will hang themselves quick. I mean, they don't waste any time running out of money. It's like it burns a hole in their pocket, and they get rid of it as fast as they can.
So based on that, investors now are starting to pull out of that country for what they're saying. They're saying that, I think, I don't know how many percentage, but investors are now pulling out their products and whatever from that country, which is going to hurt them
And
more.
just so you know, does anybody know the price of gold in Chile? Chile. It's right there. It's called spot. That's what they're going to say. If you go to Chile and try to buy some gold, they're going to say spot. And it's global. That's how I know. I learned that from Robert Kiyosaki when he was in Vietnam and went overseas, and gold was illegal. Nixon made it illegal, and he tried to buy some over there, and he tried to haggle with the lady, and all she could say was spot. And that's when it dawned on him, hey, this is a global thing. There's no getting a better deal in another country. And you might, I don't know, food prices might, have something to do with it, but there's always other factors. But just know, I imagine the people that are over there right now, the smart ones that bought gold and silver, are probably pretty happy they did that.
Yeah, I would imagine. And not only that, so the IMF now, with International Monetary Fund, they've actually come out and they've given them $18.5 billion as a credit line to help them because they're so, well, they're in bad situation. And so in this Bloomberg, sorry,
no,
you want to say something? So this Bloomberg article, it, kind of ironically, it said, in comparison, guess what? It said the boom began in somewhat similar fashion to what's happening in the countries like the U.S. and Canada in the wake of the pandemic, wherein the government there has handed piles of cash to workers to help them through the lockdowns. They were given the options to tap out their own retirement savings, and they did.
They screwed with the free market. People quit going to work.
Yep.
And you just can't do that.
Yep.
I mean, and keep in mind, the reason this is bothering them so bad because their economy is like $300 billion. That's their total. That's about what they work with over there, and they're injecting $18.5 billion at a time now.
Right.
So that's a big deal for such a small economy.
Yep. Yeah, and not only that, but so they said add fuel to the fire. Their dependence on imported hydrocarbons, which is fuel, natural gas, you name it, prices have been raising for 52 straight weeks. So that's
steadily going up. So
harsh.
Not only is everything going up, they probably having a hard time getting the fuel they need. I don't know how cold it gets in Chile, but I can't imagine. I just can't imagine it. I hope it doesn't happen here. It looks like it's going to. I don't know when, but I hope you guys are prepared and watching out for, head on a swivel, keep everything you need nearby. Just the other day, I had to replace the pump on my septic tank. This is just real quick, completely off topic.
That's true.
But I had to order more than one because I knew that part would probably be hard to get, and my sewer will not work without it. Right. And my sewer goes to my orchard because after it goes through, it does its thing, it's clean. It's like 99.9% clean. So it's just water. But if my pump's not working, then I got crap in the orchard. That's no
Literally.
good. So, guys, just know the spot price of gold and silver is the same everywhere. And I can't imagine the people in Chile or anywhere else that are starting to experience catastrophic inflation are happy they don't have any. No, you can't eat it, but you sure can store some wealth with it. That's what the wealthy do. If you want any, call that number. That's her number, and she'll walk you through and do anything she can to help you. And you'll help them with the real estate too.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think this is just one more sign that says, hey, pay attention. So this isn't a past experience we're talking about. This is real lifetime. A country right now is experiencing this. So we should say, hey, if they're experiencing this and they had such prosperity a year ago and we're feeling, oh, we're so blessed right now and we have prosperity, that it could not happen to us. And I think that's just something we should take away from it. That fast it can happen to a country that was thinking they were booming and in the best years of their life, and all of a sudden it's just taken away. So I think we should just pay attention and listen to what other countries are going through.
And the only people that can create inflation is the government. That's who creates the money. That's where the inflation comes from. Don't let them lie to you and tell you anything different. So every time they have these meetings and they discuss what they're going to do with us peasants, and they always pick, well, right now they're saying they're hawkish and we're going to fight inflation. But that's only going to last so long. They're going to pivot. They're not going to take the medicine. To quote Peter Schiff, they're going to keep the monetary heroin going eventually. So right now, while gold and silver looks ugly, I
say bye.
Well, you do what you want to do. This isn't financial advice, but the best thing is to try to buy it when nobody else is really talking about it.
True.
I noticed that with crypto. Crypto, nobody's talking about crypto. It's getting hammered, and it's kind of got me looking at it. I've been kind of watching it, and I know a lot of people hate crypto on here, but I'm going to use that to further my precious metal holdings. So, guys, that's it. Have an awesome day. Later.